Hi everyone, and welcome to your monthly Pick a Card Tarot readings for the month of May 2025. If we haven't met, my name is Sydney, I'm the tarot guy next door, and I use my occult knowledge and intuition to help guide you towards the life you want. If you have a question you want to ask the cards, you'll find information on how to get a private reading below. And if you want to learn how to read the cards, you'll find information on my beginner's course below. I'll be doing 7 card readings, and here are the decks that I have for you. We have the Tarot of the Divine with Red Jasper, the Astro Matrix Tarot with Aquamarine, and the Morgan Greer Tarot with Sunstone. We also have 4 different oracle cards to choose from 4 different decks. So go ahead and pick which tarot deck and which oracle card resonate with you the most. It's totally fine if you're drawn to more than one. And as always, you can pause this video if you need more time. As always with collective readings, take what resonates with you and leave aside what doesn't. If you want to jump straight to your reading, you'll find timestamps below. And with that, let's go right to the readings. Alright, Group 1, let's see what we have for you for May. So, in the present, we have the Tower, don't panic, 10 of Wands, don't panic, and the 5 of Wands, really don't panic. Leading into this, we have the 4 of Swords reversed, okay? Incoming energy, we have the 3 of Wands, promising. The main advice is the World reversed, of course. Supporting advice is the Emperor reversed, of course. And on the theme of course, we have the Empress reversed at the bottom of the deck. So, let me this should be decent for you. Yes, it is. So I'll put the rest in place. That should be the shot. All right, I'll see you right now. Group 1, it's the age-old saying, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And I think that the month of May is looking like a month to practice adaptability because, especially with the 5 of Wands here in the mix, I'm not sure what this is, but this is clearly a big plan getting kneecapped. And actually, since I pointed to the world, I might as well clarify what this card is adding to the conversation. This is basically saying that it's a speed bump, not a wall. Those words might sound extremely hollow right now because it probably looks a lot like a wall right now. A wall that seems like it's been there forever and it's looking like everything is on fire, you know? And I think that the way that there are 2 main ways that the 4 of Swords is playing on into this. It's either that you were sitting too much on your plan and not taking action, which kind of led to this, or it could be that you finally decided to take the first steps among your plan and then ran into this right away, you know? Either way, it kind of sucks, but I really like the Threshold card being in the incoming energy, and especially with the Empress reversed at the bottom of the deck underpinning everything, because this is where the it's a speed bump, not a wall, is coming at. Now, it looks like you are heading into that speed bump really fast. It's the kind of speed bump that your car starts making a weird noise after you hit it. But again, I think that the weird noise that your car is making won't stop you from getting to your destination. It might require having a mechanic look at it, or at least maybe you're also the mechanic in this, because the Emperor reversed here, it's kind of like speed bump, not a wall, put your plans on ice. I kind of alluded to that when I was talking about adaptability. I really find it fitting that the 5 of Wands and the Emperor are in the positions that they are. But yeah, so it might be, I don't know what the opportunity is in here. And I think that if I explore it with you right now, it's just going to drive you crazy. However, I think that once you start climbing out of the situation, that whatever this is, that the opportunities that this situation contained will be clear to you. Yeah, I think that's a good note to end on. I don't think I left anything else on the table. So if you hated this reading, please give this video a thumbs down. And you can use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your Oracle card reading. I'll see you there. Group 2, let's see what we have for you for this month of May. Pyramid placement is pretty good. So in the present, ooh, okay. Don't panic. The Strength reversed and Nine of Swords reversed, they must be related somehow, especially with the Ten of Wands reversed leading into this situation. Incoming energy, we have the Queen of Cups. Awesome. The main advice card is the Queen of Swords. And the supporting advice card is the Five of Wands with the Two of Coins reversed at the bottom of the deck. Okay, let me just make sure. This should be pretty good. Yeah, okay, this works. So, like this. Beautiful. I'll see you right now. Group 2, I'd say the main theme for a May based off these cards is a unification of the heart and the mind. And I think that the heart is already in the right place and it's the mind that needs to get on track or whatever. I'm not sure what this Ten of Wands reversed is saying. It could either represent an unburdening that led into the present moment, or it could represent a burden that you've been carrying forever. It feels like you've been carrying it forever. You might actually have been carrying it forever, and that might not be over, you know? I'm not sure what that one is. However, I think that the strength that is yet to get tapped into has to do with your heart being in the right place and your mind either having doubts or overthinking or not quieting itself enough. I was struck right away, and I'm assuming you were too, by how these two queens are facing each other. You know, it's pretty glaring. And before I forget to comment on it, speaking of seated, it kind of looks to me like these three reverse cards are seated on these four upright cards. It's really interesting. I don't know what it means, and I didn't really read into that, but it's kind of something that's in my field of view, you know. I think that I think that part of it, the question that might be irritating you is, what does it mean? Whatever this situation is that led into this, I think that what's weighing on your mind and kind of getting in the way of the strength flowing is trying to make sense of it. And I don't know, I suspect that the Five of Wands is inviting you to loosen your grip on having a definite meaning to whatever it is that you're trying to figure out what it means. But with the Queen of Swords upright, there is an invitation to take an honest look at something. And maybe the thing you're being invited to take an honest look at is how your gut feeling or whatever's in your heart has been, you know, right all along, despite you know, intellectual, you know, checklist of arguments, you know, with sources, primary sources, and all that shit, you know, one versus the other. The Two of Coins reverse has been silently nodding this whole time. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's pretty obvious. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of the vibe. So it's looking like whatever integration that you're being invited to do for this month, it's looking optimistic in that regard. So there's that. And unfortunately, I kind of wish that I could glean more into what the situation is, maybe because it's a collective reading, that's kind of why it's not that possible. But I think that the real challenge for you would be to loosen your grip on having a definitive meaning, or maybe also embracing that you'll never know. That could be a possibility too for some of you. So yeah, I think I've covered everything. If you liked your reading, please give this video a like, and you can use the timestamps in the description below to jump ahead to your Oracle card portion. Come on. All right, group 3, let's see what we have for you for May. So in the present moment, it's the moon reversed. Okay, don't panic. In the past is the chariot reversed. Incoming is the Queen of Coins, of course. Main advice card is the Six of Wands. And the supporting advice is the Nine of Swords. Very interesting. And Knight of Coins at the bottom of the deck. So this should be good for you. Oh, I thought it needed to be further away from the pyramid. This should be good. Nice. All right, I'll see you right now. I paused for too long and now I'm not sure where to begin. I would say that the central theme for all this is feel the fear and do it anyway. I think given the cards, it's kind of obvious, especially with the Nine of Swords at the, in the supporting advice card. That's pretty explicitly what it's adding to the conversation, and a lot of this played into the rest. It's really fascinating to see the act. Like, I know the majority of the reading proper is reversed. However, if we look at the actual cards themselves, there are only 2 bad cards in the entire thing, you know? So even on the front, like the majors are outnumbered and the pips are all outnumbered. The minors, I should say, are outnumbered in terms of, you know, which cards we're happy to see in a reading versus not. And I think, I anticipate that the moon will be silently nodding along with everything else, because I think that the central theme that arose while I was contemplating what to say to you was, I think it's a self-image issue, in the sense that this has the vibe of someone who knows what they're doing, is competent enough to do it, and yet feels doubt and uncertainty and anxiety about it anyway, right? What leads to situations like that? Not realizing how awesome you are at the thing. Like, we have the fucking chariot reverse leading into all of this, you know? And again, the chariot leading into the moon, well, actually, in the trek of the majors, that kind of happens anyway. But in the context of this reading, especially when the emperor is in the mix, like in the present moment, we have the emperor and a king. Oh, we all have the entire deck inside of us. Any card can be any gender. I'm reading all of this shit as one aspect of aspects of one person, and I look at my analytics. So anyway, with the emperor being in the mix, this is looking like someone who has all the knowledge and mastery and authority required to do whatever needs doing. But again, with the King of Cups, the emotional mastery card, and the creepy crawlies of the moon here, both in reverse, accompanying all this, it could be either a first attempt that didn't go that well, but I would expect a different card leading into this if that's what was happening. I think that, oh, actually, I'm just gonna drop the sentence that I started, because it doesn't matter anymore. What I would say to someone who doesn't realize how awesome they are at the thing, I think it's just a matter of, it's the same old basically. You need proof that you're able to do it. And that starts by doing it, you know, in front of people who can see you do the thing, so that you can get the feedback from them. And I anticipate that the feedback you will get from them is really positive, despite what you might expect, you know. And it is through getting things, how can I say this? It is through doing things like that over and over again that you kind of build that self-confidence. And it's through patience and diligence that you can do that. Yeah, the other thing that might lead to the self-image vibes that I've been getting this whole time might be a first attempt that went wrong, the thing that I just dismissed, so I won't loop that whole circle again. There was something else that I knew I wanted to, oh yeah, because again, it's, I wish, it's probably the next chapter of my life will be packaging how to be willing to do a shitty job in public at things, because this is looking like the obstacle for the person who needs to hear this, you know? And it's the kind of thing that at this point I'm kind of unconsciously competent at. Like, my first video on this channel was a midweek. And I think I used the same deck 3 times. I didn't have a tablecloth. I had no idea what I was doing. And you know, here I am now. The first attempt is so important to get that little pebble rolling so that it picks up snow and becomes a giant snowball at the end of the mountain, you know. I'm definitely not a giant snowball at the end of the mountain, but the snowball, we've reached the point, well, I've reached the point where the snowball is growing fast enough that I can see it growing, you know, and that's cool. And it is through things like that. The snowball that I was talking about concretely is this channel, but it can transplant into a feeling of self-confidence. I think that's what's lacking. And I think it should be pretty easy for you to tap into it as long as you go out and get those wins despite how nervous you feel about it. If you like this reading, please give this video a like, and you can use the timestamps to jump ahead a couple seconds. I'll see you at the Oracle card portion. Here we go. All right, let's see what we have for the Oracle card portion. This should be pretty good. Let me just do that. All right, Group A, your card is Progress. This is I Ching hexagram number 35. Some of you all, I told you not to panic, and you can take this as proof. The keywords are advancement, gaining recognition, appreciation, achievements, acceleration, steady gains, increased clarity. Steady gains and increased clarity might be for some of you who might have been confused because, again, the tarot portion was pretty diverse in terms of messages, but I think that this is a month where it might not look like it, but I think that the things that you're gonna do in the month of May will have bigger implications that might not be obvious to you right away, so keep that in mind. Group B, your card is Artemis. That's in Aries, the goddess associated with Aries. Let me think about this card. Yeah, this card, unfortunately, in a sense, isn't adding much to the tarot portion, but given, I'm pretty sure Artemis is Diana, the huntress god. I forget that each time this card comes up, but the fact that she's associated with Aries, this isn't a full moon, by the way, the circle here, but explaining what it actually is would be too long. But this is a pretty clear invitation to be bold and daring and to take risks. Don't do anything actually stupid, but this is an invitation to go out there and take what's yours for the month of May. Group C, your card is Hesed. The message is empathy. I don't really do associations with the body. Let me look at this card and see what we got. Okay, I noticed something, and it's going to be very difficult for me to read this card any other way now, but the thing that I noticed is that there's a pair of arms clutching the sphere here, but there's another pair of arms opening the cloak. And the thing that was confusing me while I was paused is that Hesed is mercy in the tree of life, and the you know, holding closed in folded arms thing was confusing me when contrasted to that. But that also includes being merciful towards yourself. And I think that for some of you, this month is a month to navigate the balance between what to keep for yourself and what to give and open up and offer to others. So yeah, being merciful implies being open, but it also implies being there for people, and you need to protect what's yours in order to be there for that. Wow, I got a lot out of that. Anyway, Group D, your card is the Swan Spirit. Time for a deep dive. Very interesting. Ooh, for some of you, you might be dreading the deep dive. Holy shit. All right, let me stitch all the tarot portions together and see what we got. I think journaling is going to be a very powerful practice for some of you for the month of May, because there are many different things that you might be invited to take a deep dive on, and based off the tarot portion, there might be things that you don't really want to look at. So I think that for some of you, like for those of you who it's clear what the deep dive is and you're not dreading it, then you've already gotten what you're going to get, you know. But for the others, it's really a question of getting your thoughts in a way where you can look at them. And that's kind of what the power of journaling is. It's that your thoughts are now like on paper in front of your eyes, as opposed to this ethereal sound thing that's playing in your head, you know, for most of us anyway. So yeah, good luck with that, all right? So thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give this video a like. I hope you have a great month of May. Take care, I'll see you soon.